So I talk about in the song dealing with addiction and how it makes you feel and stuff like that. And I wanted to do that because I relate to a lot of Juice World music, and people like say Juice World's depressing, blah blah blah. Like, why do you listen to that stuff? And I mean, I understand it, and like, but it's like it's just something like knowing you're not alone going through that type of stuff, and that's the main thing. Like, it is a problem that like if you're fighting through it, you have to end up like it's a problem you have to deal with alone. Like even if you have a great support system, and that helps a huge amount, but like you gotta want out of it for yourself. So it's like it's just nice, like a problem that is so alone and like secluded that you have to deal with it alone. Like it's still like you can feel others still have to deal with that too. So it's like in a sense you're not alone completely. So yeah, um, so I feel like there's a lot of people who deal with this problem and most people do not see it because it's not a common thing to the common eye. Like to most people you'll pull up through Fredericksburg and like not notice how bad things are around here. But to other people, I pull up to a gas station like this last week I pull up to three different gas stations 3 different days, seeing people nodding off at the pump. One of them had a baby in the back seat. And it's like it's so weird how like easily it is a spot now and how many people deal with this problem. So I'm trying to make it like more of like I don't want it to be like a thing like people are like just open about doing. I want it to be a thing people are open about like trying to overcome. So
Mm,
yeah, so my situation, and I know a lot of the people who struggle with this stuff aren't bad people. Most of the time they are the most amazing people, and you'll have some of them that are like just not good. They'll end up robbing for that stuff, like doing like turning over on people, stuff like that. But like most of them aren't like that. And they really don't want to be doing this. They don't want to have this problem. They don't enjoy this problem. And for me, it was never something I ever imagined dealing with. And because I grew up in church, went to private Baptist school all my life. Like I didn't smoke till I got to college. I didn't drink till I got to college. Like I was a little baby, but yeah, I never imagined dealing with the stuff that I've been dealing with. And it's a thing. Like you don't think it's gonna be a problem until that second that it happens. Like I've been around it. I've seen it. Like my friends did it and stuff like that. And um I seen what it did to them, and I seen it kill. Like I put an uncle and aunt in the ground because of this stuff, and even through all that, like I deal with terrible anxiety and depression, and most of the time it's seasonal depression, and then usually be like a wave towards the end of the summer because I know summer's ending.
yeah.
But but yeah, so I mean, over the years, depression's gotten more manageable, but it wasn't this past winter. It was the winter before, I do believe. Um, yeah, and then it was right before right before Jay's closed. I was sick, but I didn't get COVID. I tested a couple times. I was negative. And then right when they closed, I got COVID. So I was sitting there unemployed for like 2 months, down and out. And then I ended up getting on unemployment after that. But I hated being on unemployment because it was like just enough to pay your bills. If I ended up finding work, I couldn't go do that work without that money getting deducted from unemployment. So it was like
Yeah.
either way, I was just getting enough for bills. So that's another part of my anxiety. I have a generalized anxiety disorder. So it's like just like the normal stuff like money, health, stuff like that. I like it just sometimes it weighs insanely heavy on me. So in seasonal depression, my anxiety running rampant, unemployed, just got out of 2 months of COVID, and some of my friends came over and they brought over some stuff that um was not what I thought it was. I didn't know that at first, but they're like, "You want to try this?" Blah blah blah. And I've been asked a million times before, and it was just that one day, the wrong time. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Fuck it. And so I tried it. I didn't feel anything at first, and I think they were like just giving me like the tiniest bit. I don't really remember, but like I tried a little more. And, like it is the first. I'm obviously not advocating for this shit at all, but like I want people to understand it's not like just some shit like it the reason people get hooked is like it's only because of the first time. Like after that, like you shouldn't be doing this shit and whatnot. And well, for me at least, like I never wanted to do it after the first time, but it's not that easy. So like it was the first time in my life I had I had no thoughts in my head. Like my mind constantly runs from the moment I wake up to like even while I'm sleeping. Like I have some crazy ass dreams. Like so it was the first time I never thought. And then after that, I didn't want to think. Like it was nice to not think about the situation I was in, da 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 da. But I knew I shouldn't be doing that shit. So like I just started smoking a shit ton more and whatnot. And I didn't get hooked to them right away. And then I realized like the smoking wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And after that, like anxiety got worse. I ended up getting I wasn't getting unemployment anymore a month or two after that. And it was still snowing outside and I do landscaping. So yeah, so I was like, all right, let's just try it again, whatnot, and then ended up going on a little bender. Um, and I had no idea the effects of withdrawals and all that. It never occurred to me. I heard about it and stuff, but like I heard about heroin withdrawals and stuff like that. That'd be terrible. I never thought like a little pill withdrawal would be bad, but that is got to be the worst painful experience anyone's ever experienced. Like they say, like I mean, you could look it up and it'll like describe you every symptom, but like it's like literally like insects crawling all over your skin and like you're on fire and then you're freezing the next second and like just the anxiety is unexplainable. Like you want to kill yourself just to not feel that way again and like you hate yourself so much, blah blah. It's just a terrible feeling, but once you like come out of it a little bit, that's when most people relapse. I didn't have a problem with that, but like whenever like people are like just starting to come out of withdrawals, they'll be like one day away from like finally being through withdrawals, start feeling good. Like they'll be like, all right, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but their body still hurts. They still feel like that little bit, like oh, if I had a little bit, I'd be all right. And then they fall back into
Yeah.
that cycle. So most of the time when people are on that stuff, like 2, 3 days of withdrawing, like and then back on it, you're pretty much just steady on it the whole time. But for me, it's like I knew when I was getting bad and stuff, like so I would take breaks for a decent period of time. I try to stay sober as long as possible. I really would try my best and stuff, but it wasn't until this last time where um my my family, like they're a huge support system in my life. Like I absolutely love them to death. My mom's one of my best friends for real. And I knew like I knew, but I didn't care. I knew like how much stress I was causing on her, and I knew like I have a little sister. I knew she knew something was up. Like I didn't care, and this last time I did my best to cover it up because like when I was finally like clean for like I had it like a solid 6 months clean. I was like, all right. I saw myself falling back into it. I was like, all right, we're gonna stay on top of things. We're not gonna let anyone know, blah blah. And my mom definitely knew, and she was prepared for it. She had been dealing she's dealt with stuff unfortunately her whole life. Not her person, but like in her family and stuff like that. And this last time she knew that she had to let me work it out myself. So as much as she wanted to help me, like just yell at me, scream at me, take all my stuff, throw it away, and like make sure I wasn't going anywhere, doing anything with the wrong people. Like it don't matter how much you support someone or how badly you want it for them. That person's got to want it for themselves to get out of there. And I love her to death for letting me get out of that terrible spot on my own, but while still watching me. Like she made sure every night that I was still breathing and stuff, like checking on me every single night. She got like 2 hours of sleep max at like that's the longest she slept one of the nights during this past time. Like some nights, most nights she didn't even sleep for real. And yeah, just realizing like how badly I put her through it this last time. Like because like I said, I didn't think anyone knew, but I also it was the worst that I fell into it, and it took me forever to get out of it. I wasn't able to do cold turkey. I had to do taper, but yeah, once I finally got out of it, she shared a lot of stuff with me that like she had been keeping to herself because she didn't want to. She wanted me to get out of it alone, and She just come out to the truck every night, just make sure I'm breathing, like knock on the window to see if I'd move or whatever, and like, and as badly as she wanted to pull me out of that situation, yeah, I had to do it myself, and luckily I'm good now. And it's a thing you got to realize like why you're doing what you're doing. And for me, like I didn't realize it until after my mom shared with me what she did about like all this stuff that she was going through this past time, like watching me every night, stuff like that. And I was driving to town, and as you know, we got this move going on and stuff. And then so with that going on, with the move, all this crazy stuff going on, I was driving to town, and I was freaking out before I left the house. And then for some reason, I just felt like the biggest rush of like just peace fall over me. And I was like, I have no idea why I'm feeling like this. And this is like when I finally came to terms with me moving to Tennessee. I was like, all right, like I see what I need to do. I have faith that like this is where I need to go. I finally got to get out of here. And I realized like the reason I started doing that stuff is because like I lost faith in myself. And like, I mean, I'm religious. Like, I mean, I'm not the most religious person, but like I have a relationship with God, and I believe like I should not be here. I honestly should not be here. There's many a times that I shouldn't have made it through the night, and that like it's unexplainable how I'm still here. So I realized like I stopped having faith like where I was going, what my life was heading to, and like once I realized that like it's a switch that's flipped the past few weeks. Like I don't I feel like I'm moving like so much better in a different direction. Like I finally realized like why I had that problem, and I've been working on that so much lately. And